Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would just give you a little update on how my studying for my USMLE Step 1 and COMLEX Step 1 are going. I am now less than 2 weeks away. I take my COMLEX on June 26th and then I take my USMLE on July 1st. So I am getting down to the wire and I thought I would give you an update because the way I have studied is changing a bit and morphing as I get kind of in the groove and figure out what works for me and what's not working. So I did set up my study schedule as a kind of all-encompassing thing where I would go through each different system, like just everything on different days. And I did it through Osmosis. They have a program that you can kind of set up your daily study schedule. And that was good. I put on there that I wanted to get through my UWorld questions twice, which I now realize was a bit aggressive of an approach because I definitely do not have time to do that. I found that it takes me about an hour to do and review 20 questions. So that's kind of been a bulk of my studying. Is I wake up in the morning and I do UWorld questions for about the 4 hours of the morning. And I find that that actually works the best because I can use my brain when it's fresh and really absorb the material. So I've been just doing 20 questions at a time and then reviewing 20 and then another 20 and then reviewing them. And that's my morning. I find that it actually is really helpful for me to study based on UWorld instead of based on first aid. I found that when I read first aid, it doesn't really stick in my head and it just is all jumbled even after I read it because it does kind of sort things based on systems. So it just still stays as a jumbled mess when I read it because I read all about nephrotic and nephritic syndromes all at the same time. Words struggle. And so it just doesn't help me to read through the tables and charts. I can't remember which part of the chart went with what. I've kind of cut out first aid as a study tool just because it's not helping me as much. I do use it though after I do practice tests. So I've been really trying to do a practice NBME exam once a week just to kind of gauge where I am. And from what I've heard, apparently the questions are sometimes reused slightly. So I've heard that it's good to look at them just so you know kind of what kind of questions will be on the exams. So I think that there are 4 or 5 or 6 maybe NBME exams to do as practice, and I've done 3 of them so far. So I use my first aid book to go and read why I got certain ones wrong because they don't give you the explanation after you're done. So I definitely use that as a resource to kind of just see if it's even in first aid because I kind of gauge whether or not that's a question I should really focus on or if it's a question that might have been a little bit further than I care to study and reach for my goals. Yeah, and they're really helpful just for timing and just to kind of see if you could sit down for a whole 200 question block and go through that without fatiguing and getting kind of over it. So that's been really helpful. I try to do one of those once a week. Today is Saturday and my exam is on Wednesday of the following week. So I have about a week and a half left. I do plan on doing a few more. I plan on doing the UWorld Forms 1 and 2 these next 2 weeks because they have the explanations already written. So they will take me a little less time to go over than the NBME exams have been taking. Because usually when I do an NBME exam, I have to do that in the morning and then review the NBME exam all afternoon because it takes a lot longer to look up the answers since they're not just right there like the UWorld questions are. So I've been doing that, and when my brain gets fatigued, like it does almost every afternoon, I end up using my Osmosis videos. So I still watch a couple of those every day. I only pick the ones that I haven't watched before and ones that are on topics that I'm just a little bit iffy about because hearing somebody talk about them, I found that I learn a lot better over audio. So it helps me a lot to watch these videos and to listen to them. And then I also have been making it a point that every single day that I've been studying, I try to get to the gym or go on a run or go on a bike ride. I found that my brain works a lot better when it gets exercise. So I tend to fatigue way quicker doing questions and way quicker when I'm studying if I don't get that exercise. So a daily schedule for me looks like I wake up at 6:15 and my alarm is set for 6:15. I tend to snooze it, but I am up by 6:45 at the latest every day. And then I get up, and then by 7:15 I'm starting UWorld questions. So I know that's pretty early for a lot of people, but I just work better in the morning. My brain is a lot more crisp in the morning and I can think quicker. So I also think that it does replicate what it'll be like for the actual exam. So I've been trying to get up super early and do my questions. Luckily, I have a pretty good attention span up until around 11:30, and then at around 11:30 I go to the gym and I will do about an hour of a workout. And then while I'm at the gym, because I tend to hit a lull in the afternoon, I end up staying at the gym and walking on the treadmill to watch my osmosis videos. And I'll just walk on the treadmill for an hour straight watching my osmosis videos. Passive learning doesn't work for a lot of people. It actually helps a lot more if I am walking while I watch the videos, because then I stay engaged in the videos a little bit more. And then I come home after that, so by then it's about 1:30 or 2, and I eat a late lunch. Then I always have a snack before the gym, but then I eat a late lunch, and while I'm eating lunch I also watch videos just to make the most out of my time. And again, if I'm engaged by eating while I'm watching the videos, I know it's not like the best for eating and watching videos at the same time. That's what happens around 2, and that's usually when I hit my really tired point in the afternoon. So I found eating a later lunch actually keeps my brain working longer, which is good. So then after that, I change up my location. So if I'm studying up here at my desk here, I'll move downstairs and sit at the bar or sit at the kitchen table, or I'll go to a coffee shop or something like that. And I try to do more UWorld questions because I am trying to get through all of them, which ended up being, I think I've been trying to get through at least 100 to 200 a day. And like I said, I do about 20 and review 20 per hour. So that ends up being most of my study time. And honestly, that is the best thing that's been helping me study, because I remember things a lot better when they just kind of are randomly put in front of me. And if I can associate it to a question that I got before, if it's a random question about histology and a random question about neurology and a random question about a drug, I tend to like really get those better if I have that. And then I will cross-reference after questions that I got wrong. I will cross-reference Sketchy to look at the picture again so that it's fresh in my mind. And if I missed any little details, then it's really fresh in my mind there. And then I will also cross-reference First Aid if I have any further questions, if UWorld doesn't explain it well, but they usually explain things super duper well. And it's really been my main thing for studying. So that's what I've been doing up to this point. Now that it's getting closer to the exam, I definitely will be doing more practice exams and just trying to get my focus in a little bit better. So I'm going to be trying to review the UWorld questions. I have 375 UWorld questions to go that I haven't done yet. After I get through these 375, which should take me 1 or 2 days, hopefully, I guess it'll take me 2 days. So it'll take me 2 more days to get through all these UWorld questions. And then my goal is to review the ones that I got wrong, and hopefully I can do that a lot more quickly than I've done the UWorld questions in the past. So I actually have been going through as I take it and flagging ones that I definitely want to review, and then ones that I got wrong I also would like to review. So I'm going to go through and review the ones that I flagged first off and make sure I know those really well. And then after that, I'll be reviewing the other ones that I've missed. And then I'm going to do the Form 1 and Form 2 exams on 2 of those days. And then if I can, I'd like to get through a couple more of the NB&E exams. We'll see if that ends up happening, because I know I have a limited amount of time. But I also have to study a little bit more of my OMT because I do have my COMLEX first. I usually take 1 day off for sure a week, and that was today for me. I tend to burn out if I don't have a full day off, so I've been really good about taking an absolute full day off. And if I am feeling a little bit bad, I'll do a few UWorld questions, but like 20, like nothing really. And so I've been doing that, but I think this next week, instead of taking a full day off, I think I'm gonna just take 2 half days off and do OMT review during those 2 days, because I need to learn my Chapman's point and all of that stuff that's on the exam. And yeah, so that's my plan. If I can, I will keep studying the way I have been, but since I know I want to review a lot more test questions, I'll probably cut out more of my videos and just be really dedicated about staying motivated. I have been equaling probably about 9 hours of studying a day, maybe 8 or 9. I haven't been trying to cram in 12-hour study days. I know I would just burn out if that was the case, and none of the information would stick in my head, and none of it sticks after 9 p.m., so I don't study past that anyway. Yeah, that's my plan coming up. Hopefully I get the score that I need, and I hope that everyone else who's studying or planning on studying for the USMLE Step 1 is doing well and taking care of themselves, because it is not an easy thing and it's more of a mind game than really anything else. So just make sure that you're taking care of yourself and giving yourself some free time too. All right, I'll see you guys next time.